I think it's a really exciting time for women entrepreneurs. I think that more and more women are using this economy as a time to really take a look at their life, maybe have a career transition, and either out of necessity or out of passion, they're making that change, and a lot of women are starting businesses and following their dreams, which is really exciting. Now, I'm going to be talking today on the panel about access to capital.
Oh, really good topic.
Always one of the hardest things, and particularly for women entrepreneurs. I think that's where, in some ways, we still have a long way to go, because just looking at the statistics, women entrepreneurs are not funded as easily as their male counterparts. The biggest thing that I've seen is that funding alone is not really going to be enough. I think that the groups that have really been the most helpful for women entrepreneurs looking for funding are the groups that are providing mentoring, networking, as well as access to capital. Some groups that I'm involved in, which have been terrific, particularly for high growth, high technology women entrepreneurs, are ASTIA, which is a San Francisco-based group that has now come to New York, and they're doing work in London and in Dubai and all over the world now. And they really provide access to a very strong mentoring network and a very strong group of women who've gotten some serious funding.
Do you have to be at a certain level, though, in order to access folks in that arena?
Well, it really depends. You have to have a high growth, either high technology or life sciences businesses. On the other end of the scale, there's a lot of smaller businesses starting, and we're talking on the panel today about the difference between debt and equity. I think that women need to understand that there are more and more loans available, whether it's SBA funding. There's a big push towards microfinance now, even on the domestic level, and so that's starting to happen. And more women are funding with not so much money. There's a lot of businesses that can start out there on very little capital. The ultimate sort of gift is to be able to have income coming in and still have time to do your business on the side. And we do see a lot of women doing that as they're building up opportunities and really starting to take off. And so, what we often tell women entrepreneurs if they are starting kind of more of a services-oriented business is to go to the trade shows, explore what's out there, maybe try to get some reps, maybe do a small production run and start getting customers. And as you're getting customers, then it's much easier to go to a bank or to even go to investors and say, I've got some revenue coming in and I've got some cash coming in, even more importantly, and I've got a steady sort of stream and a vision of what the future is going to look like, and then it's much easier to get some capital.
So being organized with your paperwork and really having the tangible data to be able to supply people, because I know a lot of people say, I've got this great idea, and a lot of it's intangible.
Well, I think one of the things that I've seen, and speaking for myself, I was a marketing person, I was actually a political science major and had no interest in math, no interest in numbers, but as I've gotten more and more experience, I realized that women have to be on top of their financials. They have to understand cash flow. They can't avoid it. They have to, even if they have an accountant, a bookkeeper, you've got to be the one looking over things. Make sure that you know your numbers. Make sure that when you go into a meeting with an investor, with a bank, even if you're doing factoring, if you're in manufacturing, you've got to understand your numbers and be able to tell a story through the numbers.
Okay, well, this has been great. Where can people find out more information about what you're doing?
Well, my company is upstartventures.com, and I do a lot of work mentoring and incubating businesses and consulting to early stage startups, and so that's where you can find me. And you can also find us every Monday at 12:35 p.m. in New York at WOR, and you can listen online and podcast too at WOR710.com.